Welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage. Today we're going to be having a look at HBAR. Let's get into the price action and see what is going on. Okay, so before we actually jump into the smaller term stuff here, what I want to talk about is a bit of a bigger overview. We need to be careful because there is still the potential of a fifth wave to the downside. We're looking for further information that we've actually set a low in place here and that we're looking to actually move to the upside. So we're talking about this previously, looking at this as an A, a B, and then looking for this potential to come up here towards this 12 cent 93 area. There is also the potential of developing a bigger structure here if we move up towards this 2147. What we need to be careful of, however, is there's still the potential that we could see a drop down towards this 0279 to this 0189 area. And what we want to do is basically start to develop this better impulsive structure to the upside to get out of this zone to invalidate this potential. Okay, so now this was the one where we're talking about it, where actually we look at this move completing here. And then from this point, we have an A, B, and a C into the low here. And now what I'm looking for is whether this is actually completed, because this could become a bigger corrective structure like this. The problem is it would be getting quite large in comparison to this. So it's already starting to be a bit less likely to continue to progress here. If, however, we maintain this low, it's possible we could start to see this move play out to the upside, but we will discuss that in a second. If we do have continuation to the downside here, potentially this 538 to this 425 zone would give us support in this instance. And what this could mean is we have a little bit more downside here before looking to push up again to the app and then potentially coming and taking these highs out. But we would need to take these out for clarity that we have continuation in this move. For as long as we fail to take this X wave high here, which is currently sitting at this 0778, and this high here of this 0987, we need to be aware that there is still some bearish potentials here where we could look to break to the downside. So the other way we were talking about this move is looking at this move rather as a five-wave structure. Like I said in the previous videos, the problem I have with this is the size of the fourth in comparison to the two. This can happen sometimes. It's really on the boundary, but basically what we'd be looking at is a potential we have a move into these highs as a five-wave structure. If this is the case, what we'd then have is this is an A, this is a B, and then potentially looking for a C wave to the downside here. So this C wave would actually be looking to target out this lower range here of this 1-to-1, which would be this 0404. It doesn't have to come down here, but this is a typical area we'd be looking for. So this is why I'm looking for continuation potential to the downside here. It is possible that we've completed a B wave here and we're starting the C wave. So now this could be a C wave or it could be a Y wave. So if it's a C wave, it'll have a five-wave structure. If it's a Y wave, it'll have a three-wave structure, which will be what is sort of denoted within this current count here. So what I'm treating this as for the time being is that we have a three-wave structure down here. So, this potentially could be completed into this low where we look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this could be completed here. The other way we can look at this is that this is 1, 2, 3 into here, 4, and the diagonal is a fifth. In which case we've had just a three-wave move to the upside here. And now we've got a five-wave move down. So what we need to be careful of is the fact that within this structure, we could actually be forming, a bigger five-wave move where this becomes another 1, 2 here, and we could start to break down. So that's the bearish scenario. If we do hold this for 5, 6, 9, we can still look for the potential that we have a low in place here, and this move is looking to push to the upside. It is becoming less likely though, so I'm going to discuss that here. So basically what we're looking for is finding support above this zone of the 0609. We've broken down below there. What I want to see is us get back above the 786. If we fail to do so and we just continue consolidating below here, it becomes likely we're going to see a drop past this 0569, and this would invalidate that potential of having a bigger structure here to the upside, looking for this possibility of a breakout. So for confirmation of this, what we'd want to see is actually a move up into the zone of this wave 3, which would be the 0966. Like I said, because we're below the 786 now, it starts to become less likely, but we need to just be aware that as long as we stay above 0569, this is still technically a viable option. So if we do start to break to the upside here, this will be our target we're looking for an impulse. And what this would then potentially mean is that we have a five-way structure here, which would mean, we could potentially argue we have another 1, 2 here. So we'd have to watch out for an additional fourth and a fifth. Or alternatively, this would then become a bigger A wave or wave one, we'd look for, to find support above some of these key areas and then look to push up. So that would be the bullish case. That would mean that we'd want to hold this zone here, this 0569 area. So even if we do break down, it doesn't really invalidate the bullish scenario until we take the zone of this 0356. The lower range that I'd want to be looking for as a potential support. I wouldn't really want to lose this lower area of this 0425. If we start to lose that, then it becomes more likely we're going to see that breakdown and see this actually break down in a much bigger way. So what we need to be cautious of is these two areas that we have above us, the 0729 to the 0864 and the 0672 to this 0731. These are predominantly areas that I want to see us break back above if we are looking for that bullish scenario, because it is possible that this could just be this could be A, B, C, and we could still see a move up here, but failing to take this high, which could then actually lead to a continuation on the sell-off to the downside. So this is why this high is important. For as long as we remain below this, we need to just be a little bit cautious. And as long as we continue to set these lower highs here, and at the moment we're setting higher lows, but if we start to break down here, this would then basically, give us a trending move that could be going to the downside here. And unless we find support in here, could be indicating a much bigger drop. So the the way that I would be looking at that now, this is obviously not confirmed yet, but this is something I'm just monitoring because of how we've reacted here. I want to see if we actually start extending out to the downside. If we did see a move like this, this is now actually a wave one, two. Our third wave location would be down here at this 0293. Like I said, there's a long way to go here. We do have fib support here, and potentially even this channel to the downside. If we do break down here, this could give us some support. We've also got horizontal support in this zone. So, there is potential still to find support if we break down. But if we fail to, I'm going to be keeping an eye on this zone of 0293, which could then lead to an additional fourth and a fifth, which could bring us down into this lower range here, this 0268 to this 0232 region. So that would be a five-wave move to the downside like this. Now, how would this play out if this is going to happen? So what I would want to be looking out for here, at the moment, we just seem to have two five-wave structures. Like I said, this one here, we can potentially count slightly different. We can count this wave 5 into here, in which case we've got a three-wave move to the upside, and now we've got another five-wave move down. So it's possible that within this, this could be 1, 2, and then we could potentially look to break down in a bigger five-wave structure, or this could actually just be forming some kind of a bigger wave too. So the shorter term here, if we fail to break above this 0672 and the 0637, we could be looking for continuation directly down here. If that's the case, I'd be looking out for this potential of coming into this zone here of the 0486. If we break down directly into this area, what we could then see is an additional fourth and a fifth, which would look to take us towards this zone of this 0472, 0452 area. If this is the case, then what we would be looking out for is that potential of an additional fourth and a fifth, which could bring us back down into that 0.786 area, which is this 0425. Now, if we do break down into this zone, this would not reach that impulsive trigger of this previous move. It would rather bring us into a one-to-one relationship. So this is what I'm going to be keeping an eye out over the coming days and weeks, is to see if we start to break down here. If we do, the 0.786 does have quite a lot of confidence. However, we do have some support here horizontally towards this 0.618, which is currently sitting here at this 0488 to this 0475. So if we break down in a five-wave structure like this, directly down here, we need to just be aware that this could be a turning point, or alternatively, if the moves start to extend, this third wave could potentially end up going towards the 2.618 instead of just this 1.618, and that would mean that we would have a bigger third wave down to this zone of this 0404 region, which would be putting us closer towards this target area of this 1.618, looking at that possibility of developing a bigger five-wave move. But like I said, as long as we hold 0356, there is still potential for upside to come in here. Now, I'm going to just talk about the possibility of having a corrective move up. Now, this is still possible. we could see something play out like this here, where we have a bigger A, B, and a C pattern. Really, I wouldn't want to see this drop below this low of the 0.542, but technically speaking, it would be still possible to have a bigger flat correction like this as a B wave if this is a connector wave. So it wouldn't really invalidate it by taking the lows. But what we'd have to be careful of is if we develop a 5-wave move to the upside, something like this plays out, we take these lows, come down here, take the lows, and then we develop a 5-wave move up. We'd need to wait for that retracement for further confirmation of continuation, because otherwise, like I said, this could be a flat and then we actually start to break down in a bigger way. So this is why it's a little bit complex at the moment. Really though, until we actually break back above this high of this 0.699, I will be focused on lower here. Whether this plays out in a 3-wave move and we get this as an A, we get a move back up here for a B, and then we get a C wave to the downside. Or alternatively, if we get a direct sell-off here where this becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'd have an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then basically that 5-wave structure that we were talking about, then that could look to actually push us directly down. If we do break down into this zone, like I said, this 0.425 is going to be an interesting area, as well as the higher up here towards the zone of the 0.488 to the 0.475. I would be keeping an eye on those two areas if we do break down in a bigger wave here. Now, one thing that we can't write off entirely either is the fact we could have something like a triangle developing here. If we do maintain this low of the 0.542, we need to be careful of 3-wave structures just ranging here. That could indicate that we have this as A, B, C, D, and E, in which case we could look to break down deeper at that point. A move above this A wave high here, which would be this 0.779 area, would invalidate that possibility, as well as a move below the origin of this move, to be honest, would also look to invalidate it. There is the possibility that it could be a running triangle if that's the case, where this is A, we get a B down here, C, D, E, something like this. But, I wouldn't really want to see it given the current structure. What I would want to see, if this is something like a triangle here, is basically this low to hold, and then to see a 3-wave move to the upside. And then that would be potentially our A wave, B wave. This would be our C, D, and then E, and then we look to break down from there. So if we remain setting these lower highs here, even if we do push up again and we set a lower high, possibly this could be setting up for something like a triangle in this zone. So we just need to be a little bit careful and patient with the structures. The sell-off to the downside that we've just previously had here, it's it is a bit worrying the way that it has happened, and we need to be careful because we have some 5-wave structure here. So, this could look to extend. If it does look to extend, what we'd be looking for in the really short term would be basically looking for a move down past the zone of the 0.528. So that would be indicating to me, if we see a move down past 0.528, it would be indicating to me that that 5-wave option is starting to play out here, where we could be looking for, continuation here to the downside and having some extension playing out. So I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. As well as that, you'll find affiliate links for both Primex, BT, and BYBIT down there. Both great exchanges we use on a regular basis. If you do not have an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone, have a great day. See you in the next one. Take care.